Glad to be with you tonight. I thought I'd do a quick Q&A, talk a little bit about Cam. A couple days have gone by. We could digest what's going on. What do we think about N'Keal Harry? What do we think about that situation in general? It's really bothering me that these books are off center. I'm kind of got a little OCD in me, and I feel like it just bothered me. What's good, Kevin? What's up, Michael? So digesting the Cam stuff. Is anybody think any different about Cam? What's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? What's up, Lamb? What's going on, Royal? Smitty's people don't sleep, baby. James, what's going on? Good morning to you. Cam, blah, Smitty, I need extreme help, please. Hit me, James. What do you got? Lamborghini, what's up, Lamborghini? I figured that was you, Lamb. Hit me with your questions, guys. Real briefly, I haven't really changed my tune on Cam too much. I have to say I'm getting a little excited, but I said that in the beginning. It's exciting. I'm excited that the Patriots are now relevant immediately, whereas we didn't quite know whether the Patriots would be relevant or any of the fantasy players be relevant. Would the defense be relevant with an offense that constantly put the defense back on the field and they get tired and worn out? It's exciting. And I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if Cam is going to be anything better than 10, 11, 12 for fantasy QBs, but he could be. Might be one of those guys that gets going late, and then per game from like week 9 on, he ends up being top 10, top 8. But I think he's just going to overall be outside the top 10. But somebody I draft if I'm doing a rotation type of thing, if I'm getting Ryan and Cam and I'm rotating those two. But I typically own a Mahomes, a Lamar, a Watson, Russell Wilson. I typically own one of those guys. What's up? Saklan in the house. James in the house. Hey, Smitty, how are you doing, brother? Great to see you live. Love supporting you. 2-year anniversary of me joining coming up in a few months. Very, very excited to have you here for a full 2 years, Saklan. But I've only been on YouTube for a year and 5 months. So we're if you've been with me for 2 years, or you're going to be with me 2 years, essentially it'll be like our 2 year together, because I haven't even been on YouTube for 2 years total. I've been on YouTube for I guess it'd be 16 or a year and a half exactly coming up here. Since Reddit days. Oh yeah. You've been with me in terms of that, yeah. And I wasn't trying to say you were misremembering or anything. I was just saying that literally it'll be my 2 year on YouTube in 6 months. It's my year and a half anniversary, baby. We have never hit. This is our 1 year anniversary of July content, because we've only had 1 year where we produced July content. This is year 2. So I'm excited about year 2. I'm excited the fact that we've only had one off season before together on the YouTube platform. So I think we're going to explode. All right, what was the question that you had above? Starting a new Dynasty league, who should I take first? I have the 4th pick. I mean, obviously Barkley's my 1, especially in Dynasty. I think Kamara and Elliott are still going to be there. McCaffrey, obviously. So, I mean, you can't miss with one of those guys. I definitely take one of those guys, though. I don't think I'm taking anybody but Zeke or Kamara at that 4 pick. I think both are fine picks. I don't think I go wide receiver. Your Scooter live show hooked me. Yeah, ugly. I wish I could get on a scooter right now, man. Bums me out. Freaking COVID. My Scooter live was dope. Who said they had a question? Who was it? Was that James that yelled, "I need your help. I need your help"? Who was it? Yeah, it was James. Smitty, I need extreme help, please. I'm waiting for it, James. I'm here. This is a very late live. We're going to have less people in here. You might as well hit me now with your question. Any late round guys to look at? Tons of late round guys, dude. Hollywood Brown is a late round guy. Mecole Hardman is a late round guy. Hawkinson, I like at tight end. Damian Harris at running back. Um, Antonio Gibson at running back. I'm not sure about Deshaun Jackson, man. I mean, he's been in the league a long time at this point. I don't know that he's going to come on strong. Marvin Jones, I like him enough. It, I was in a super flex league with 1.5. I took Mahomes. Good pick. Absolutely. In a super flex, absolutely. He's a top four pick to me. Cam Akers, I'm not a big believer in ugly. There's a lot of reasons I don't like Cam. Thoughts on Rager? I think Rager's okay. Okay, I think he's in a good spot. I don't know. I'm kind of like indifferent with Rager. James, I'll answer your question next. But as for Akers, there's so many different components involved in trying to predict not a bust, but a letdown. Because I don't think Akers is a bust. I think he's just going to be a letdown. People are expecting him to be the heir apparent of Gurley and be the long term answer there. I don't see it. I mean, anybody can improve upon their game. Anybody can get better. I'm not saying Akers can't improve upon the things I feel are weaknesses, but when you watch the tape or the film or the YouTube footage, however you get your footage of Akers in college, he is very raw. And I'm not saying he can't improve upon that, but you add in all the other aspects to this, the fact that the Rams can't be trusted from a coaching perspective. They don't commit to the young player that they invest in. Obviously, they proved that with Daryl Henderson. And if you blame that on Daryl Henderson, I'm going to go find a take a lap button. I'm not in front of my studio right now. I can go there. I can walk over to my studio and press the button, though, and wake up the family. But I don't want to do that. Daryl Henderson, it's not his fault. And if you're going to blame it on Daryl Henderson, I think you got to go back and watch the video on that, the film on that. It's not his fault. That line sucked all year for everybody involved. And they didn't give him quality carries. They gave him like 30 carries on the year. And when people say Daryl Henderson sucked last year, they aren't watching football. They're just going off the stat line and the fact that he didn't emerge. And I'm not saying me doubting Akers doesn't correlate to me believing in Hendy in 2020. In fact, I'm not super sold on Hendy because of the fact that I've given up on trusting that coaching staff. But Hendy's so cheap, I do end up investing in him late in a draft, late in double digit rounds. I mean, 12, 13 over 13th round. I mean, why not? But I think the door is more open for Hendy than it will be Akers, and we were just shown why. We were just shown proof that the Rams won't turn to the young rookie that doesn't know how to pass protect in that specific offense or doesn't absorb everything uh, properly. And how could Akers or any rookie running back absorb everything right away? Akers will start off with a disadvantage and not be the guy. Now, could Malcolm Brown get every single carry? Yeah, that's why I don't trust the Rams. That's why I don't trust Henderson fully, not because of him, but because he's tied to a situation. You can't separate situation from talent. And and Hendy is attached to this god awful situation where you don't know what the hell is going to happen and you can't trust that you'll have the right information to make any good decisions because the Rams proved you can't trust anything coming out of their mouth or anything that you think you know. Toss it out the window. There's no way we can predict what they're going to do. But I do know the door's cracked open for Hendy. Whether he even gets to slip through and try and prove himself is beyond me. But I'm going to trust in him at his ADP, and that's it. And if he climbed, I wouldn't because I don't trust the Rams. But he's an elite talent. And I know that I take a lot of heat for that. I know a lot of people want me to give up on the Daryl Henderson thing. And I pretty much am telling you I'm giving up, but I'm willing to invest at the right price. I'm not giving up because he doesn't have the talent. I will stick to that. He is a talent beyond measure. He is a guy that broke tons of college records, is the number one college football player in the nation in the history of college football stat collection. He's number one in the history of college football in yards per attempt. There are a lot of things going for him, and the film in college is one of them. And you could cite easy schedule, whatever you want. I've heard it over and over. I don't care. I know what my eyes don't lie to me. And the guy's an elusive talent that needs a shot. Akers is raw. Akers crosses his feet. Akers doesn't let holes uh, open up or defenses, he doesn't read defenses well or let plays settle. He just kind of shoots and tries to hit a hole and literally lowers his head and rams his neck into every defender, multiple defenders at a time. The guy doesn't know how to make contact properly, and he's going to get hurt doing that. He's not. This isn't one or two plays or some little thing I noticed here or there. Literally every time he makes contact, his innate instinct is to use his head, all of his head, and run right into multiple defenders with his neck. He's going to hurt himself. And it looks like something that's innate to him, not something that he's going to be able to shake pretty easily. He's going to get hurt. And the crossing of the feet is not one or two instances. He does it a lot. He crosses his feet all the time. The NFL is different. It's quicker, faster, stronger. You're not going to get away with half of this crap in the NFL. And while I tell you, you can work on these things for sure, but you mix in the Rams, you mix in what we just saw happen to Hendy, and it's a bunch of red flags colliding, and it's a run for the hills. That's what I'm going to tell you. I spelled fantasy wrong. I'll fix it in the title. I made it capital letter, but did I really spell it wrong, or did I just put it in capital letters? In the 7th round in my Superflex league, I have Mahomes, Drake, AJ Brown, DK, Hunt, Waller. Should I take Devontae Parker, Brady, or A-Rod? I'd take Parker because you don't necessarily need a quarterback with Mahomes. I'd definitely take one of those quarterbacks coming up, but I'd take Parker first. I get that. I'd definitely grab him. Do I think there'll be an NFL season? Honestly, anybody like Scott Hansen said on my show, I think it holds true what he said. Anybody predicting anything with any level of confidence or perception that their perception is that they are speaking about it with confidence is coming from a place of guesswork. And that's all we can do is educated guesses. And we don't know what COVID's going to look like in September, on September 1, as we're looking into the window of the NFL season. We can see it within sight. What does COVID look like on that day? And we don't know what the hell it's going to look like. It's grown so fast. We have no clue. It could vanish, or it could be worse than it ever has been before. We have no clue. No clue. If I had to just guess, you're telling me to just come up with a number, I'd say 60% chance we start on time, and it happens, but a large percentage, over 50%, there is a complication hiccup in the middle that either pauses, halts it, modifies it, makes us go in a different direction. I don't know. There's a large percentage that I have, because I think this thing, we don't know what we're dealing with right now with the bounce back, the second wave, the third wave of COVID. This second wave could be, it didn't mean just like ocean waves where one wave and then things get like subside each wave. We're talking about the second wave could be bigger than the first wave. There's no, this is uncharted waters for us if we're going to use waves and waters and all that language. It's uncharted territory. We don't know what the hell we're dealing with. And I think it would be reckless of me to tell you I knew or had some great confidence level in my projection. I don't. All I can tell you is I think that they'll figure out a way to start as long as the other NFL or other pro sports don't screw it up. And Legion, I mean, this is the thing. We could argue all day long about this topic, whether the COVID is BS or not. I know a lot of you are going to say it is. A lot of you are going to say it isn't. Some of you have people in the front lines, people in hospitals. It's political. To answer this it's a political topic. And Legion says it's BS. Legion, you probably live in an area that's not affected. Can you guys hear me okay? Both of my headphones went out. Can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Legion, I don't mean to call you out on this, but if what's up, Double A? The virus is less deadly than the flu. Okay, you can hear me good. Legion, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong or I'm right, or I'm right and you're wrong, or that we aren't even arguing the same side. I'm not even answering any of that. I'm only going to say that this too is weird when people take a stance when they live in a different area. Like Legion, where you live and what you're dealing with is going to be completely different than what people are dealing with it on the West Coast right now. Or, I'm not sure where you are, Legion, but it's when you have cold trucks pull up and they literally put body after body in a cold truck, and there's several cold trucks outside of a hospital. It's hard to say that your argument holds water. It's also hard to say that your argument is wrong when a lot of people can get it and not die from it. But the problem is, Legion, it's so contagious that even let's say you're right, your 0.6% or your half a percent or a little over half a percent death rate is correct. The fact that so many people will get it, the amount of deaths will be way more than the flu would ever be, because you're talking about infecting guaranteed infection of a huge, large, way larger population than people that get the flu. So yes, while your death rate could be lower, what you're not thinking about is that the infection rate is so massive that you will for sure be wiping off X number of people off the planet if people continue to spread it around. So you're right. You're right. The flu, some flus or some versions of the flu or whatever could maybe it does kill more people. I don't even know. But the fact that way more people are going to have this, that percentage, that 0.6 whatever percentage, let's say it's correct, is going to have more of an impact than you think. More people will be wiped off the earth like that because of how many people will have this. If they say that everybody's going to catch this, and if you're right, then a small percentage of people relative to a different pandemic will be wiped out. But the thing is, you wouldn't have a significant amount of people getting it at once. And the thing I find funny is when people argue that this thing is fake. And I'm not arguing that it isn't overblown. I'm not arguing that the media doesn't overblow this. They absolutely overblow it. And it drives fear, it drives shortages of resources and all that. I'm not here to tell you that this isn't being overblown in some ways, or that fear isn't being struck through people. Not in all cases, Legion, but at the same time, even if, let's say, again, what you're saying is true, that only people that are compromised die from it, if all compromised people catch it, then all compromised people are going to be at risk. It's not like where the flu's wiping out a significantly smaller population of people. So I understand what you're saying, Legion, but there's two arguments to this. It's funny when people, and I'm not saying you in this specifically, when people take a hard lying stance as if there's nothing else, there's no other argument, there's no angle, someone's wrong. Like, where do you live? Where do you live? Where you live matters. If you live where I live, you're not allowed outside, and you could call that fear. But if you have older loved ones or people around you that are older, and there's a death rate of, let's say it is near 0.6 or 1%, you really want to then walk in front of that family member? You're willing to take that chance? I mean, come on. If everybody gets it, bro, it's a problem. Um, so, I mean, again, I'm not saying there isn't some craziness going on, but it is definitely a topic that I think when people take a hard stance and say that it's the worst thing ever or it's not bad at all, they're almost being inconsiderate to that other perspective, which there's merit to both sides. There's merit to the fact that it's being overblown. There's merit to the fact that it's just flat out more dangerous, or more complicated in certain areas than it is in the areas of people that believe it's not even a big deal. So just look at it from two perspectives. Do you think that football will be played with any? I don't think fans will be involved. Go check out my tweet my video I posted on Twitter. Here's my idea, and this is to the NFL. NFL, create virtual tickets, create a virtual environment where the let's say every player has a camera on their head or wherever. And if you buy a season ticket, a virtual ticket to the 49ers, let's say, we'll use the 49ers as an example, you can jump between every camera, i.e., every player, anytime you want through an app.
So you basically can click the George Kittle cam, you can, the Kittle cam, or you can click the Mostert cam, the Jimmy G cam, the Debo cam, and basically go from place to place on the field wherever you want. The pylon cam, the referee cam, the water cooler cam, the overhead cam. You could jump to any camera you want on the field with this virtual pass through touching of buttons in an app. And then at that point, when you're inside each camera view, let's say you're in the Kittle cam, you have a Kittle chat. You have a chat with people that want to sit at the Kittle cam all season. You can move around. You can go to the Jimmy G cam whenever you want. Mid handoff, you can go from the Kittle cam to the Mostert cam as he's running through, and then pop back to the Kittle cam and jump back and forth, and get to know the people that are probably going to be regulars in the Kittle chat room in the Kittle cam with Kittle stats, Kittle this, Kittle that. Everything's Kittle when you're in the Kittle cam. And only if you buy a virtual ticket do you have this kind of access and angles, and potentially after the game access to players, locker room access to the players, maybe pre access to the players. If you're a ticket holder, you can watch Kittle dress, not dress totally, but you know what I mean, like get his helmet on and put his gloves on. They'll figure out a way to make that so there's no exposure. But this would be an elite idea that would give players an ability to communicate and engage with their fans. It would give the NFL an ability to sell tickets and make up for lost revenue. But it more importantly would give the virtual evolution. Like everything's evolving right now. Everything's evolving in the NFL or in the world. The NFL can evolve too with technology. The NFL can create an idea like this that can make it so that going to a game, even when we return, they can still have this new revenue stream. So I just think it's an amazing idea, and I put it on Twitter, and I said at mention the NFL. So go by my Twitter handle, the underscore Smitty underscore show. Drop a line, tell the NFL, tag at NFL and hashtag NFL, and let's get them over there and see if they can create this. Because how amazing would it be, even when things return to normal, for someone like me and a lot of you who don't go to games, or maybe we're in another city and we want to watch a game. I don't know what the legal rights to the footage would be, but it wouldn't be the normal footage they'd be using. So, like the NFL Red Zone, I think there's some loopholes for that. But there's got to be a way to do this. There's got to be a way to do it and partner with the NFL Sunday Ticket, maybe, to get more people to do that if they have to go that route and use the rights through the NFL Ticket. I don't know, but I do know that it would be amazing, and people would purchase this, and it would make for an experience that would be unreal. Do you think N'Keal Harry has a better season than Edelman? I think he could. What's up, Thomas? Let's hide under our bed too. Legion, I knew I wasn't going to be able to talk you into looking at it from a different perspective because you just see it a certain way, and I respect that. The problem is most people don't respect the other side. Like I respect your side. I get that you're seeing it from a different angle. How could you not? If you're not seeing, people drop around you. But if you talk, the one true thing is if you talk to a nurse that is in an infected area, how many times do you talk to a nurse that tells you this isn't a big deal? About 9 times out of 10, a nurse is going to tell you this is a real big deal. Um, so I think that there are some vaccines that people, let's not get into the political thing. Obviously, it's not going anywhere. But UFC is half naked with blood everywhere, says Nick. The UFC knows how to do it, bro. They know how to do it and do it right, and they've got this whole island thing down. The fantasy politics show. I don't mind talking politics. I know some people it gets all upset, but I mostly don't want to do it because I want to talk about football right now. I don't want to talk about politics, but I do feel like anybody against the whole um, COVID thing being real, they're just in a different part of the different region that's not as affected, or they don't have hands-on contact to people that that see that the death rate may be whatever percentage, but people are struggling to recover, and then they do, and then what? Like it's putting them putting people in the hospital that, yeah, they're recovering, but they'd have to be sometimes put on ventilators. And just because the death rate is 0.6%, if it's like a almost a 100% guarantee you're going to catch it if you're around somebody with COVID and you're not taking extreme precautions, then you have this guaranteed percentage to die. And for whatever reason, that doesn't scare people because they don't see it, you know. All right. Do you think a team will tank for Trevor? I don't think many teams tank on purpose, man. You know, because you got to think about it this way. Whenever someone says that, I don't really agree, because a coach tanking most likely is going to lose his job. So a coach is going to try not to tank because he doesn't have a guarantee that if he tanks, he'll have his job there. I enjoy politics because arguing is fun, and if you want to talk about it, you better be ready for some people to. Yeah, I know. I don't mind, but other people don't like it, so they end up leaving. I don't want to create that kind of environment, so I'm personally okay with it. I'd be okay with AJ Brown, Galladay, Harry Parker as my wide receiver core. I would be too. And I appreciate you, Legion. I'm not trying to rip on your stance either. I respect it. I think everyone's gonna have a different one, and that's cool, and it's understandable. Numbers are overblown, but the government trying to keep people indoors and dictate that they wear a mask is BS, says Nolan. I don't think there's anything wrong with telling people to wear a mask, though, personally. Like, what? It's a precaution, and if it keeps other people from getting it that are at risk, it's kind of like smokers. Like, oh, screw them. I'm going to smoke. Like, I think people that are going to be subject to other people's smoke, that everything should be on the side of caution for that person, not the person smoking. You know, I feel like that's the same concept here. Like, people that don't believe in COVID feel like they'd rather things err on their side versus the cautious side. Are you happy with your throne team, Smitty? Anything you would have done different? I would have taken Vaughn instead of Brandon Cooks. I wasn't a huge fan of that pick, but it's what the people wanted, and I got behind it. And I like Cooks a little bit, but I think Vaughn would have been the better pick. But past that, I love our team. I hope Antonio Brown's Pee Wee helmet is safe during the chaos in 2020. I don't know if he's going to play again, but grab him in your league if he's available. Who are you trying to get first 3 rounds? Austin says Seclan. Outside college players getting paid. I don't think it's a good idea. It's okay. Just breaks your heart when you see people wearing masks that don't need to. Why does it break your heart though? I'm thinking of going 3 running backs at the first 3 picks. I don't really like that kind of team, Austin, to be honest. I don't like that build. I like 2 running backs. Like, I like running back, but the value of wide receivers in round 3 and 4 are great. I'd take advantage of it. Do you think there's enough wide receiver depth to go 3 or 4 running backs out of the gate? No, as I just mentioned, I would go running back, and I often do. But then I take, like, AJ Brown and DK, or sometimes even Mike Evans falls in the 3rd round. I'll go Mahomes. I'll go running back Mahomes, and then DK and like Hollywood Brown. I'd do that. So I would, but I don't know if I go running back, running back. I tend to not love my team when I've tried that. Jacobs, Drake, and then maybe Con. See, that's where you're gonna make your mistake, Seclan. Going Connor, not as your 3rd drafted player, bro. There's too much risk there. Go Mahomes, go Kittle, go Kelsey, uh, go someone else. I mean, if you're gonna go running back, go Melvin Gordon before you go Connor. Don't go Connor in the 3rd round. You're buying him back at value he had last year. If late Eckler, Drake, and then kind of up in the air. I love Eckler and Drake. I like Eckler and Drake at the 12 and 13. Is Ronald Jones and Vaughn a good stack? They're an okay stack, not an amazing stack. DK Metcalf, scary. Terry Hollywood Brown or Chark. I love Chark, DK, and Hollywood and AJ Brown. Those 3. Hollywood, well, in order, I would go AJ Brown. Then I go Chark, and then I go no AJ Brown, DK, Chark, and the fourth one would be Hollywood Brown. If I had to pick out four of those bad boys, that would be my order. Got three sophomores and a third year. Thoughts on drafting three? Nope. It's a clan? Nope. 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 Do you think Dobbins will start at some point? Yeah, I think Ingram probably get hurt or something like that. Something will happen, but I don't know how many games, man. I don't know that I'd be banking on it. I don't know that I'd be banking on it, bro. And Seclan, do not go running back, running back, running back. In my opinion, take advantage of Mahomes, Kittle, Kelsey, Mike Evans, whoever's sitting there for you in the third round. Don't go Connor. Don't. Seclan, what's my biggest, boldest prediction? Get on over to sleeperu.com and click my bold predictions, and you will find them in order of what my biggest and second biggest, third biggest, fourth biggest are. And I still have to drop like 2 or 3 on the year. I think 3 or maybe even 3 or 4 left on the year. Matt Ryan, I'm not a huge Ryan drafter, bro. I don't think I own Ryan in any draft. You guys, we're going to be doing some mock drafting on Thursday night, probably tomorrow night. Definitely Saturday, Sunday, maybe Friday. Friday during the day, maybe Friday night, and then Thursday night, tomorrow night, probably. Definitely Saturday and Sunday too. Smitty, what if you go 3 running backs and it's Jacobs, Drake, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire? In Dynasty, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I just would hope you're like, I'd rather be in a different situation and then Clyde fall to me in the third round. But in Dynasty, I would. But Dynasty, Clyde's not falling. So redraft, I don't know that I love that. I mean, it's okay. In redraft, I'd rather have Mahomes. I'd rather have, a few other people there, and that's redraft, not in Dynasty. It says I have to buy it or something. That's unfortunate. I don't have a credit card. Yeah, sleeperu.com is not free, Seclan, but it's worth it, man. It's worth it. It's like a magazine. It's a couple magazines on the year. You don't have to buy the advice version, where I give the one-on-one advice with it. You could buy the content version, but it's like buying a couple magazines, bro, and it's always updated. Nick says Sleeper U is 100% worth it. More content coming now that we're in July. I'm gonna hammer it out, Nick. Get ready. I've been dripping it out kind of slowly, slower than normal. $45 version is worth it for the year, says Nick, and you get the one-on-one advice. So, but if you want to go just the content, it's $29. So, it's worth it. Rankings galore, right, Nick? Top 200, all that good stuff. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it. Smitty's tired today. I'm gonna buy it soon. Smitty says the clan. I have to support you for sure. Thank you, man. You get everything, says Nick. And the trade calculator is dope. Nick, have you tried the trade calculator? A lot of people don't realize, and I have a how-to use video and everything, but for whatever reason, people are like, I didn't know you could add 2 players. In the trade calculator, after you select one player in the drop-down, just grab the drop-down again, select another player, it'll add it, grab the drop-down again, select another player, and it will add it. Headcam, that is, I made so many trades. I was going to buy it, but just not sure if there will be a season. Will Smitty be selling a Smitty virtual cam at some point? I might. You guys have no idea what's gonna be in store for me and you and all of us together in 2020. As soon as I get, I'm building a new studio in the house. I'm adding on here, and once I get that up, it's gonna be off the hook. Off the hook. The lives are gonna be off the hook. And I'm not here in the library-ish area because I'm constructing yet. The construction has not begun. But once the studio is up, it's going to be absolutely off the hook. Great show. The virus was planned. Do your research. It's all over the net. I'm not saying it wasn't planned, or I'm not arguing that point. I don't even know about that, and I'm not going to refute something I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me if it was in a lab. Somebody, right? That's the thinking, right? I think from what I've heard, it was in a lab. It was brought out of the lab on purpose. Whatever. I get it, bro. I don't. I don't. I'm not saying it wasn't man-made or man-created. Like the problem wasn't man. It was definitely probably man-created. Um, Guy named Jeff in China probably, uh, you know, fell asleep, knocked his pizza over, knocked a vial over, smashed all over, and he probably walked out with it. Or it was strategic. I don't know. I'm trying to put all of my eggs into the basket. I wish I could call you, says I don't honestly want to hear it, bro. To be complete, you know how many people, Legion, do you know how many people DM me and say, Smitty, let me tell you all of these facts? And they write this like paragraph. I don't read it. I'm just telling you the truth, Legion. The last thing I want to hear, last thing in the world you want to hear is what I have to say about it. And the last thing I want to hear is what you have to say about it. Let's be completely honest. I have a couple people that DM me daily and they think they're enlightening me and telling me about the COVID, being more like one person in particular tells me all the time that I don't take it seriously enough and like I'm reckless for even creating content right now. I have another person that is all over me constantly about not taking it seriously enough. And then I have people like you that are on the other side. They're like, dude, let me tell you, I can convince you in one conversation. Believe me, you can't. You can't. I don't care. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, Legion. I just don't care. I get my news from where I get it. I'm trusting that. I'm not trusting you over over those sources. No offense. No offense, Legion. Create a YouTube show on the coronavirus, and I will subscribe to it, and I'll start giving you a listen or a podcast. Send me your podcast link, and I'll start listening to your information. Maybe you become the next Rush Limbaugh. Give me the Penn State duo of Miles and Saquon, and I'll be very freaking happy, says Thomas. Don't you love that though, Legion? Where literally people come to you and they think they're gonna convince you, and you're like, no, it's not gonna happen, man. But get ready, Dave Hodges. I'll sure. I have time for that, Legion. Believe me, I don't. Uh, I don't have time for anything, man. I don't have time for anything. I don't have time to check my email tonight. You know how many emails I get a day, Legion? You know how many DMs I get a day? You know how many business inquiries and business related emails I have to deal with a day? It would look at the bags under my eyes. You would be shocked at how much I have to deal with on a daily basis of things that like you guys probably don't realize, I don't have time to watch Hodges. Smitty sound drunk. I'm not drunk. I don't even drink, bro. I drink Coca-Cola, the classic kind, baby. I don't even drink. I mean, I'm not allergic to alcohol. I just don't drink. I don't have time to drink, bro. The last time I had time to drink was probably like at a wedding in 2012. And time's flown since then. Like it was 2012 the other day. Like I feel like last week was 2012. I don't have time to drink. I don't have. Maybe I'll get drunk on a live sometime. I'm a pretty funny impaired person, but I just said it. I just don't have time, bro. I don't have time to do anything. I don't have time to even go to sleep. I don't even have time to click the end button on this live or the energy too. That's why I haven't hit end yet because I'm too tired. Drunk Smitty fantasy Q&A. I'll hook that up sometime, Thomas. I promise you. 24-hour live maybe. When I get my new studio, I could potentially do a 24-hour live. Um, Once I build a new studio, actually behind me right here. This is where it's going. So, how do you know who the best player available is? You use ADP and your rankings, and you find out. You know, AJ Brown is highest on my rankings at said point in the draft. Where's his ADP? I'm going to let them fall as far as I can, and then boom. That's the best player in the draft is literally like, for example, you're on the clock at pick 14 and Jacobs is there. And Josh Jacobs has a floor of 12 and he's there at 14. Like, he literally, if he doesn't get hurt and doesn't get more receptions, he'll literally score top 12 overall player value for you, and he's sitting there at 14. And then you look at like Miles Sanders at 14, who has to literally perform out of his mind to get you 14 overall value. That's not the best player in the draft. That's a guy that could potentially earn what you're paying. Sure. I mean, Sanders could be a top 14 overall player, but he has to play lights out. Things have to happen for him. Whereas Jacobs will earn that, sleepwalking without increased PPR work, which the Raiders guaranteed to give him. Easy, easy, easy call. Um, you get 500 to win. I don't know what that is. Do you have a never ever draft list stay away player? I mean, Gurley. I'm staying away from Mixon. I'm staying away from Miles Sanders at first round value and even high second round value, but not in general. I like Miles Sanders enough that he's got, Alvin Kamara type PPR to his name, but I don't know if he's going to get all the carries. Philadelphia could, and then I'd be okay with it. And then he could earn you top 13, 14 overall value. But Jacobs is a lock at 12 or 13 or 14 because he could be top 5 or he could be 12. So if you get him at 12 and he stays healthy, it's a walk in the park to get your value back. That's the best player available in a nutshell, using just 2 players. Stay away from Fournette too. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. I only see 6 thumbs up. What in the hell is going on here? I'm here at 3 a.m. something Eastern time, 12 my time, and I've got 6 thumbs up in the room. Look at the I got more. Look at the bags under my eyes. I haven't slept, and I can't. There we go. There we go. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Ask a question on the way out, and remember, no questions will be there once the video posts, and you can ask me a question, get direct access to me, and because I want engagement on the video, I'm going to reply if you're one of the first commenters. So why not ask me a question, get direct access like that right after. Peace out, everybody. Thank you, and look for more videos to come tomorrow, and then some mock drafting later. We're going to do best ball. We're going to do some best ball mock drafting this week, so it should be fun.